Hi, for this video we will evaluate the integral shown. I suggest that you pause this video first and try to solve it on your own. My solution for this integral involves an integration technique that I've discussed in another video. I refer to it as the reverse quotient rule. Please watch that first before proceeding for a better learning experience. Note that the given integrand is a ratio of two functions, and that the denominator is a square of another function. Hence, it is possible that the antiderivative for this one is also a ratio of two functions. Suppose that the antiderivative is f over g. Note that we can write the denominator of the integrand as the square of x squared. Using the idea of the reverse quotient rule, we will assume that g is x squared. Recall that the derivative of an exponential function is itself times the derivative of the exponent. This posits the idea that f can be further rewritten as p times the exponential expression. So let's suppose that the antiderivative is p of x times e raised to 2x plus 3 over x, all over x squared. Using the quotient rule, we get the derivative of this as shown. We then use further some other rules for differentiation, including the product rule and the chain rule. Note that we can factor out the exponential term. From our assumption, the left side here should be the integrand that we have. Next, we equate the numerators. We have already sorted out the exponential term, so we can just drop that and focus our attention to 4x to the fourth minus 6x minus 9 being equal to the bunch of terms on the right side. We can do some simplifications on the right side by regrouping the terms in favor of p' and p. The left side of this comparison is a polynomial, and the multiplier to both p' and p are polynomials, so it makes sense to assume that p of x is also a polynomial. Next, suppose that p is an n-degree polynomial, which means that p' has a degree of n minus 1. Hence, the degree of x squared times p' is 2 plus n minus 1, or simply n plus 1. The degree of 2x squared minus 2x minus 3 is 2, so the last term is effectively of degree n plus 2. Note that since n plus 2 is always greater than n plus 1, the degree of the right side is thus n plus 2 at most. The left side of the equation is of degree 4, so we can conclude here that n plus 2 must be less than or equal to 4. Therefore, p of x is at most a second-degree polynomial if it is indeed a polynomial. Let's now suppose that p of x is in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. It follows that p' is 2ax plus b. We apply this to the equation we have. What's left now is to figure out the values of the coefficients a, b, and c. To do so, we will compare the coefficients of the powers of x on both sides. Note that only the product of ax squared and 2x squared gives an x to the fourth term. Hence, we can immediately make the conclusion that 2a must be equal to the coefficient of x to the fourth in the left side, which is 4. Therefore, a must be 2. Also, only the product of c and negative 3 will result in a constant. Hence, we can also conclude that negative 3c must be equal to negative 9. Therefore, c must be 3. So now only b is missing. We can consider the coefficient of x on both sides. On the left side, the coefficient is -6. On the right side, the only terms that contains x are -3 times bx and c times -2x. Thus, -6 must be equal to -3b minus 2c. We know that c is 3. Hence, b must be 0. Therefore, p of x must be 2x squared plus 3. Ultimately, the integral we are looking for is 2x squared plus 3 times e raised to 2x plus 3 over x, all over x squared, and plus the integration constant c. You can check that this is correct by differentiating this result and checking if it is indeed equal to the integrand that we have. I hope you learned something from this video, and if you have any further questions, clarifications, suggestions, or violent reactions, you can let me know in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one. Please consider subscribing if you haven't yet.